Well, yesterday I reported on how the Brexit move has triggered in kind of an unexpected response in Scotland. Now, their head of government over there, Nicola Sturgeon, now she's saying, if you want to get out of the EU, maybe we'd like to get out of the UK. And she's calling for an independence referendum. And, of course, Theresa May, now the Prime Minister of Great Britain, is saying, oh, no, you shouldn't do that. This is not the time to play politics or create uncertainty. It'll be interesting to see how this whole thing plays out, because obviously if the UK has the right to get out of the EU, then certainly Scotland should have the right to get out of the UK, right? Meanwhile, Putin is calling on the Prosecutor General to actively fight against corruption. They apparently had millions of cases where Russian politicians were on the take. President Assad in Syria confirms his readiness for a referendum on Syria's future. When asked if he would step down, if the people asked him to, he said, well, only the people can choose who the president should be. It wasn't really an answer. Apparently, a EU court has decided that employers do have a right to ban the hijab. They can ban anything. If you're actively showing a religious symbol to somebody else, I suppose in the same way that they could ban a Catholic nun from wearing her habit at a workplace. Of course, you don't actually see a lot of Catholic nuns applying for other work, but, the EU court has ruled, and of course it's stirring things up so that people are saying, that's an anti-Muslim move. The EU court said, no, it's about employers having a right to have a dress code at work. Back to Russia, we see that Putin has signed a deal instructing South Ossetia forces to be integrated into the Russian army. In other words, the breakaway Republic of Georgia, that area in South Ossetia, now can be full Russian soldiers. Speaking of another translation of citizenship, U.S. applications for New Zealand citizenship jumped 70% after the election. It's still a low number. They had a grand total of 170 in the first few months of the Trump presidency compared to 100 the year before. In Libya, forces loyal to General Khalifa Haftar have captured a key Libyan oil terminal, actually a couple of them. This after another force had taken them a week before. So it looks like the warlords in Libya are still fighting over who's going to control the oil. A Russian delegation has slammed the UN Commission's report on Aleppo, saying, you're trying to portray this as some kind of a massacre by Syrian forces backed by Russians. Really, it wasn't. Okay. Also, we see that a British airline has now promised free upgrades to nice customers. We'll talk about that in our commentary today. And as always, if you would like to support what I'm doing, I'd love to have you on board as either a subscriber. Paid subscriptions get the 30-minute version of the news emailed to them. That's the audio-only form. You get more news than you'll get anywhere else directly in your inbox every morning at 5 a.m. if you're a paid subscriber. Of course, you can also support me on Patreon and check it out, radiofreespeech.com. Thank you.